Hello everybody, good afternoon and welcome to That's Football. I'm Mark Goldbridge and this is your Liverpool versus Fulham watch-along, your Arsenal versus Everton watch-along, your Newcastle versus Leicester watch-along, and your Wolves against Ipswich watch-along, and your 3 p.m. kickoff watch-along. It's basically a watch-along, so get involved. What's wrong with you? Lots to get involved with. Really excited. Could we get some slip-ups? I was talking about this yesterday on the on our little Premier League prediction show yesterday, and I actually said I think that this could be the game that we get a little bit of a shock. I think Fulham are the quintessential Premier League side, and I think they could be the side to get something here today at Anfield. Fulham Warrior here, says Gerbil. I think Arsenal will beat Everton without any problems. I just got a feeling about Fulham today. I might be wrong. But I just got a feeling that Fulham might do it today. So let's see how it goes. That's all up and running. Lovely stuff. North London forever, says Jordan C. But who do you support? Are you Arsenal or are you Spurs? Yeah. How you all doing anyway? Busy time of the year for some. But the 3 PM chat starts now. Get involved. Liverpool are going to batter Fulham. You don't know what you're on about, Goldbridge. Yeah, well, Robertson's gone down injured here in the first few minutes, so you know he's in a lot of pain. He's crumpled up in a heap, and he's not the sort of player to go down like that. So keep an eye on that. Thiago, it's his 18th birthday. I need to just get something else set up here. We are sponsored by Manscaped. Don't forget you can get 25% off and free worldwide shipping with the code FOOTY, which is exclusive. Trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. Precision engineering for your family jewels. We'll talk about that more in a moment, but we're just anxiously I wouldn't say I'm anxious. I mean, I don't wish injury on anybody, but I'm not going to lie. I'm not anxious about Andy Robertson's injury, but he has been down for a while. There are interesting other games going on today. Coventry beat Hull 2-1. They are my championship side in relation to the podcast, but I don't agree with Mark Robbins being sacked, but Lampard's doing okay there. Preston drew with Leeds. Bristol drew with QPR. Wigan beat Bolton in some sort of derby. And Leyton Orient drew with Burton. Notts County lost 3-0 to Salford. Oh, God. Notts County's my team in League 2, and that's Neville, isn't it? 3-0 to bloody Neville. Been beat 3-0. Unlucky. Anyway, we are still waiting on Andy Robertson here, and I do wonder whether he actually is significantly injured because he's been down for a very long time. Diop got a yellow. I obviously haven't seen what happened, so I don't know whether he should have got a yellow, but a few people saying no, definitely not. Paul says new glasses, yes, bit of a red tint to them. Oh, yeah, that's probably for me. It could have been a red card for Diop. He's caught him late, probably a yellow, I think. A lot of people are saying a red. I think it's probably a yellow. Andy Robertson's up. Collision more than anything else. I don't think VAR is looking at it any more than that. I think he's gone to win the ball and he's caught the player. And I'm always an advocate of that you could put yourself in a situation where you start sending people off and you don't really need to be doing it. But look, all about opinion. Give us yours. Some people are saying it should have been a red. I think he genuinely goes to win the ball, catches the player a little bit late. That's what I think. So kiss me under the mistletoe. Pour out the wine. Should have been a red, says Sarah. Isn't that a red, says Josh. Clear red, studs on the knee. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll just be antagonistic on Twitter. I'll pose the question and I'll also whack a poll in early because I love a poll here. I love a poll. controversy. There's a lot of people talking about it. Should Diop have got a red? Your throat sounds a bit weird, Mark. I was out last night. One of my annual Christmas do's with a couple of the lads that we do every year, and I certainly wasn't going to miss that despite feeling a bit off. So lots of talking with a bit of a cold, so I think it's just caught my vocal cords a bit. I feel a lot better than I did a couple of days ago. I mean, hopefully, fingers crossed, that's my illness for Christmas, because I don't want to be getting that again. Are you doing Forest versus Villa, says Akil? No. Mark, the new glass frame has a bold black frame, says Rub. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, no goals in the Premier League, but we've only been playing for 6 minutes. Remember, Arsenal are playing Everton at the Emirates. Newcastle are playing Leicester at St James's Park. And Wolves are playing Ipswich at the Molineux. All 4 games very interesting. Obviously, Liverpool-Fulham is our featured one. But all 4 games massively interesting. I'd say if Gary O'Neill doesn't beat Ipswich, it will be the sack for Christmas. He'll be in Santa's sack. Sacked, basically. That's what will happen. I'm absolutely convinced about it. But we'll have to wait and see. Lots of people saying it should have been a red. Question, is Arteta in trouble if Slot wins the Premier League, says Alexander. Question, back to you. Should he be in trouble if Slot wins the title? Why should he be in trouble? Last time I checked, Arsenal don't have a divine right to win the Premier League. Last time I checked, Arsenal hadn't won the title in 20 years. So no, I don't think he should be in trouble. But thanks for your super chat, Alexander. 60% are saying it should have been a red card for Diop, by the way. So thank you for everybody who's getting involved in that. I thought it was a red at first glance, Mark, says Nelly. However, I saw the badge on Robinson's shirt and decided it was a yellow at worst. At least you're honest, Nelly. At least you're honest. Liverpool went close there with Diop. With Diaz. A good start by Liverpool. And it was an overhead kick attempt from Diaz. Arsenal would be stupid to sack Arteta, says Rob. This is I love the 3 p.m. I love doing the 3 p.m s. I mean, obviously we did it from Charlton a few weeks ago, but I love doing the 3 p.m s because there's loads of games going on, so you can get immersive into that, get involved in the chat, give us some questions. If you've got any controversial opinions or either ors or anything like that, let us know. Are you excited for Malcolm in the Middle revival, says Barry? Never liked Malcolm in the Middle, really. No, I'm excited for, you know, having a bit of time watching some stuff over Christmas. I've got so much stuff stacked up to watch. I was going to say these polls are pointless because most people here are United fans are going to vote yes. No, they're not, Jamie. That's Football is not predominantly my... Just because the United stand's massive doesn't mean everybody follows me to That's Football. Like, we get loads of fans on That's Football who are fans of all sorts of clubs, trust me. In fact, there's obviously a lot of Liverpool fans in here because they're voting it should have been a red card for Diop. I think it was. I don't think it was. I think it was a strong yellow for me. Mandy says if he was genuinely going for the ball, his foot would not have been that high. There we go. I don't want a lot for Christmas. There is just one thing I need. I've done all my Christmas shopping. Fulham are on the attack here. I expect them to do that a little bit. Ooh, is that? I tell you what, Alisson's back in goal. I thought it should have actually put the team news up on screen, really, shouldn't I? Let's get that team news on the screen. We are sponsored by Manscaped, as you know. We'll be talking about more of that in a minute, but you have got an exclusive 25% off today with that code FOOTY delivered to your door. You get free worldwide shipping as well, so 25% off and free worldwide shipping exclusively for you with the code FOOTY. Links in the video description for that, or scan the QR code. Get a gift for yourself or get a gift for someone else. It's another yellow card for Fulham. This time it's Pereira. In on Gravenberch, and again, nasty. That's more, to me, that's more of a red than Diop, because he's raked down the back of his leg, Nowhere near the ball. Now, there's one for you. I actually think Pereira's is more of a red than Diop. There you go. What do you think about that? What do you think about that? Genuinely, what do you think about that? Okay, let's have a look here. Let's get this stats carousel rolling around. I want to go through the team news for you. Liverpool are lining up, well, 2 yellow cards already. I mean, look, Fulham won't get anything at Anfield if they get people sent off. Alisson's back in goal. Trent, Gomez, Van Dijk, Robertson, Szoboszlai, Gravenberch, and Jones, Mohamed Salah, Diaz, and Gakpo. No McAllister. Maybe he's busy with Home Alone. I don't know, but let me know what that's all about. Maybe suspension. Fulham, Leno, Robinson, Quensa, Diop, Tete, Lukic, Berg, Sanderberg, Wilson, Pereira, Iwobi, Jimenez. And Arsenal are lining up against Everton. Their lineup is as follows: Raya, Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Lewis Skelly, Odegaard, Rice, Marino, Saka, Havertz, Martinelli. Is that Arsenal's best midfield now? Marino, Rice, and Odegaard? I think it is. I think it is. That's my 2 pennies worth. We've got a goal coming in here. And I tell you what, it's a cat amongst the pigeons. It's not a goal for Liverpool. It's a goal for the team I predicted were going to cause a shock today in the title race. And it's a fantastic goal on the back post. And it's the guy who just got a yellow. He could have got a red. He's got a goal instead. His name is former Manchester United player and potential legend Andreas Pereira. 1-0. Could have gone. Could have been sent off. He's just scored a goal. It was a cross to the back post. He reaches his foot out. It looks like it's not going to be any danger, but he hooks it back from a ridiculous bit of agility, if I may say. And it's 1-0 to Fulham against Liverpool at Anfield. What do you say about that? And if I'm not wrong, it's Anthony Robinson with the assist again. Pereira does fantastic work. Maybe Alisson should do a bit better, you know. But lovely play from Fulham. I told you. That's all I'm going to say. I told you this is the game where I think in the title race we're going to see drop points. In fairness to Alisson, he can't make the save because Pereira's shot flicks up off Andy Robertson over his head. It's a deflection, says Lightning. Deflection or not, it's 1-0. It's 1-0, and I tell you what, there'll be Liverpool fans feeling a little bit aggrieved because Diop and Pereira did both put nasty tackles in, and both are on the pitch, and Pereira has scored. Cara says, we can't just let that amazing Home Alone joke skip by. A good dad joke is a good dad joke. It is, Cara. Thank you very much for your super chats. Thanks very much who's made a super chat already. You're legends. Didn't know Luis Diaz got booked. Just looking at there, got booked. Szoboszlai or Bruno, says Ian Rushton. We'll run that one for you as a poll. I'm not precious. You can go for it. Remember Manchester Derby tomorrow. United stand. Get ready for Man United to beat City. Yeah, we're going to beat them. We're not. We're not. I don't think we will. I don't think we will. I've seen Liverpool come back from a goal down and win way too many times to be fazed by Fulham scoring, but it would be a huge twist if they stay ahead, says Dan. Yeah, if you don't watch That's Football every day, I normally do a little bit of a topical video every day if I don't do a watch-along. If there's a watch-along, I don't normally bother. So there's normally a piece of content on the channel every day. Please do subscribe and get involved. You're very welcome on here. Yesterday, I sort of did a bit of a Premier League prediction video. I was talking about the title race. We obviously saw a lot of points dropped in the title race last week. Arsenal, Man City, both dropped points, didn't they? So I was predicting who was going to drop points this weekend. I said Liverpool, Fulham. I think Chelsea will beat Southampton comfortably. I think Man City will beat United, unfortunately. I think Arsenal will beat Everton. And this was the game I picked out as being the game where we'll see drop points. Well, let's wait and see. We've certainly got a very interesting game now. They have been a very good second half team, Liverpool, under Slot. Hi, Mark. Please wish my little brother Ethan a very happy birthday. Happy birthday to Ethan. That's from Raw. If that tackle happened to a City player against United, United's whole team would have got a red card, says Jay. Thank you very much, Jay. And am I the only one who would want to snap Diop in half if I was Robertson's teammate, says Danny on the gas. I'm not sure that sort of thing goes on anymore, Danny. I know what you mean. Old school, though. Chelsea are playing Brentford tomorrow at home. Yeah. Sorry, I thought it was Southampton. Oh, it's Spurs, Southampton. Red One Mark is a cracker and a must-watch, says Jake Jones. Yeah, there's a new one out as well, isn't there? Set in an airport with Jason Bateman and Taron Egerton that's just come on Netflix as well. There's so much to watch at the moment. I think in America they make Christmas films every year. I was looking at a playlist last night. I think Lindsay Lohan makes Christmas films now. Like, there's just so many. Nelly, we've done yours. Thank you very much. Nearly 9,000 watching. Absolute legends for a Saturday afternoon. I know you're all busy. Which country's league has the most electric atmosphere that gives you goosebumps? I really like the Italian league. They go mad, says Jace. And Constantine says Fulham are the quintessential Premier League side. A great person once said that. And Selhurst Park is a difficult place to go. Well, early goal. The only goal in the Premier League so far. And it's here. Wow! I've spoken at the wrong time. Literally, as I was saying, the only goal in the Premier League so far is at Anfield. I'm about to get proven wrong. There is another goal downloading in the Premier League. Is it at the Emirates? No. Is it at St James's Park? No. Is it at Wolves? No. Oh. Anybody watch it? Yes, it is. It is. I was going to say I've had a goal flash coming in from Molineux, and then it went 0-0. And then it's just popped up 1-0. We've got a goal at Molineux. Well, Wolverhampton Wanderers with Gary O'Neill, they desperately need the points. They lost at West Ham. His job is on the line. They're at home to Ipswich. It's a huge game. They need to win. Have they scored? They haven't. It's actually Ipswich who've gone 1-0 in front. And it's not Charlie Chaplin. I don't know, actually, maybe it is. If it's Charlie Chaplin, he's doing well at his age because he's about 150. But it's Chaplin, it's Connor, not Charlie. It's 1-0 to Ipswich in the 15th minute. We've got a goal at the Molineux, and it's a goal for, you've guessed it, because I've just said it, Ipswich. I got a red. What? We got a red card at Anfield. We got a red card at Anfield. Oh my God. Red card and it's all going on. It's all going on. This is the place to be. This is the place to be. I don't even know what it's about. Do not even know what this is about. Referee, explain yourself. Chat, tell us what is going on. Ball over the top from Fulham. Ball over the top from Fulham. You know what? Andy Robertson's took the last man out. Andy Robertson takes the last man out. Is Van Dijk not getting back, though? Is Van Dijk not going to get back there? There could be an offside in the build-up. I mean, Danny says he's clearly offside. What a watch-along, says Dull. I know we've only been going for 17 minutes. Well, it's a red card at the moment. A lot of people in the chat saying offside. Obviously, people are watching this from all around the world. They might be ahead of us. Does Robertson touching it not make it relevant? No, because he's an active player running after the ball, so the offside will overrule it. I thought... I think Van Dijk's getting back there. Look, it's all going to come down to the onside, but I think that Van Dijk would have got back. He's going to be onside, isn't he? I don't think that's offside at all. I think Van Dijk is playing him on. A lot of people saying he's onside, well onside. You can tell by the grass. Slowest review ever. I mean, this game's going to be going till 9 o'clock tonight. It's... He's off. It is a red. Lots of people in the chat saying it is a red. He's not offside. He's not offside. He just can't. He's miles on. I don't know why they've took so long on that. No, I don't know whether Van Dijk is getting back. You know, when you see it back, I don't think he is. If you tackle last man, it's a red, always the rule, says Corrupt. Yeah, it's whether he is the last man though, isn't it? Because you have got to look at covering defenders. I just thought Van Dijk was a little bit closer than he actually is, but I don't think he is. Well, it's a good free kick position for them. What? You know what? Great point. Someone just said it in the chat. I was just tweeting about it then. What are we doing in game week 16, still drawing lines and taking 5 minutes on an offside? Like, we were meant to be getting instantaneous offsides after the first international break. It's nearly bloody Christmas. It's nearly bloody Christmas. The downfall of Liverpool starts here, says Alex. Mate, it's not looking good, Brev. It's not looking good for Liverpool. They're down to 10 men and they're losing 1-0. I'm convinced the Ops yellow was down to the timing, says Danny on the gas. That becomes more controversial now. That becomes a lot more controversial now. Will whiskey help my cold? I sound terrible, says Caitlin. I don't use it for colds. Who you got? Rangers against Celtic tomorrow, says V. I'd say it's Celtic, wouldn't it? I'd say they'd be favourites. J12 says, I've never listened to Lineker's podcast in my life, but it was in my top of my Spotify's Wrapped list. I listen to yours every day, but wasn't even in my top 5. A bit fishy. Jay, I don't know whether people are interested in this, but the same thing happens to me all the time. I've never watched Gary Lineker on YouTube. He's always been recommended to me. People I watch on, who I do watch, never get recommended. There is something strange going on with Spotify, YouTube, and a couple of other outlets where I would say some of these podcasts are paying to get into your recommendations. Despite these social media outlets saying that they're all about promoting, you know, fairly, I don't think it does. I don't think it does. I think there are certain things that continually get recommended, and I don't even watch the overlap. Constantly gets recommended to me on YouTube. I do not watch it for obvious reasons. Gets constantly recommended, and yet I might watch something like, you know, trying to think what I would watch that I can tell you. You know, that beard bloke who eats stuff. I never get recommended for him. I have to search. I have to type beard bloke who eats loads, and then it tells me what it is. This is what's happening, people. We're all being slowly indoctrinated into targeted advertising. I'm convinced the Ops yellow was down to timing. If you tackle last man, I've done that one. Never listened, done that one. Sean Dyche better than Mikel Tony Pulis Arteta, says Rub. Which country? I've done that one as well. Thanks for all your super chats, by the way. We've only got 2 goals in the Premier League at the moment. One's Wolves, Ipswich, 1-0 Ipswich, and this one is Fulham, 1-0 up at Anfield. But the biggest talking point is beard meets food. That's it. Shout out. Doesn't need it. The big shout out is red card to Andy Robertson. Yeah. What did I say in my Premier League preview yesterday? Chelsea will be the big winners this weekend. I mean, effectively, if I've got my maths right, Chelsea could be 1 point off Liverpool tomorrow night. That gap at one point was it 8 points or 9 points? Could be down to 1. Chelsea for the league, anyone? Jay says, if Liverpool lose, Chelsea are 4 points off the top and Arsenal are 5. This Premier League season is top class. Thoughts on the Jose Guardiola beef, says VVV. You'll have to let me know. Rub says, steady on now. And Aaron says, well, Rub's a Chelsea fan, that's why. Aaron says, Robbo is absolutely past it. He's not good enough to start for Liverpool anymore. How old is Andy Robertson? Do I have to Google it or someone tell me the truth? I'll Google it. It's like using Chat GBT, you lot. Don't trust ChatGPT. It does get things wrong. Fulham are on the attack again here. Andy Robertson is 30. He shouldn't be past it, mate. I thought you were talking like he's 33. He's only 30. ChatGPT is not reliable, doof, at all. And the amount of times I ask it for like football stats, and I already know when it comes back that it's wrong. It's really shit. Clash says, what's your dream Christmas dinner, Mark? Red cabbage, turkey, roast potatoes, Brussels sprouts, carrots, bread sauce, ham, pigs in blankets, stuffing, gravy, glass of red wine. Doesn't get much better than that. I had my first Christmas dinner yesterday. Anthony Robinson's just been booked. Fulham need to be careful they don't get a second yellow card themselves. I had my first Christmas dinner yesterday. I went out for a pub lunch and they had a Christmas menu. Oh, it was lovely. I had a Christmas pudding as well. Just stood up and went, it's Christmas. I'll have the Christmas dinner and the Christmas pudding. Not at the same time. As a United fan, I'd rather Chelsea win it, says Scott. I'd rather Chelsea win it than Liverpool or Man City. I'd rather Arsenal win it than Liverpool or Man City. Who would have rather win it out of Arsenal and Chelsea? Probably Chelsea. Lots of people getting very angry with this referee. JM says, I know it's a tough question as a United fan, but if Liverpool win the league this year and match 20 leagues and they have more Champions Leagues, are they more successful than United, says JM? Well, it's not a tough question at all, is it? You've just given me facts. If you've got the same amount of titles and they've won more Champions Leagues, it's a fact they're more successful in relation to Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues. Let's have a look at the Arsenal game. Still 0-0 there after 28 minutes. No shots on target yet. Yeah, Liverpool have a red card, Martin. Robertson. They were already 1-0 down. They are at Anfield, though. I mean, it's a tough one for Fulham. I was thinking about this. If you are Fulham, how do you approach this game? Because reality is you might be better off going on the front foot. You're against 10 men. You're 1-0 up. The danger is you're 1-0 up. You sit back. That's not a good idea. I think they've got to be aggressive and progressive. That's my opinion, anyway. You know, Liverpool are on the ropes a bit here. Get at them. Have you seen the Makuku news? Says Keithy. Yeah, apparently he's older, isn't he? It's not that. Well, it's. I don't know. I don't know whether it's true, but it's not. It's not uncommon to have this story that African players are older than they say they are. I mean, there'll be better minds than mine who know the truth behind this. What I will say is that it's a huge advantage if you're 24 but your passport says you're 20. That's I would have made it. I would have made it. It's not. It's a cheat code, because if I'm 4 years older than I actually am, I will make it as a pro. I'd be a professional footballer, because football is very much about age groups. So if I'm 18 but I'm playing under 15s, I will stand out massively. So I will make it. And by the time it matters, I'll already will have made it. We've got a goal coming in at St James's Park. It's not Leicester. And it's not Danny Murphy. It's what's his name? Jacob Murphy with an assist from Anthony Gordon. 1-0 to Newcastle at St James's Park against Ruud van Nistelrooy's Leicester. A very important game for Newcastle this. They're very good at Newcastle. I tell you what, listen to this. 30 minutes gone, 11 goal attempts, 4 on target for Newcastle. Leicester haven't had any, so they're absolutely mullering Leicester at the moment. So, yeah, fair play to Newcastle. Looks like it's well deserved. What do you make of Chelsea's kids C team winning Europe? Not really much, Seb. Fulham are playing really well, says VV. Where's Alexi McAllister? No one ever answered that question. $11-0 says you're banned from South Dakota. I'm not playing. I don't know what that means. He's suspended. Yeah, he's been suspended. There we go. He's home alone with his brother Kevin. Yeah, that was my joke. He's had 5 yellow cards. Yeah, it's a joke. Frustrating afternoon for Liverpool so far. Look, even a point for Fulham is a good result here for the title race. I think Fulham just need to be a little. The thing I will say is I think Fulham need to be a little bit more progressive here. They're standing off and counter-attacking, which is fine, but Eden says, Goldbridge Saves Football was my top podcast of 2024. You're a legend, mate. Thank you very much for your support. Discipline and progression is what I would be saying to Fulham here. Don't pick up silly yellow cards and be a little bit more on the front foot. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. You're very welcome. Why won't Anthony... What? Sorry. 11-0 says, why won't Man United move for Anthony Gordon? He's just signed a new contract, mate, so not going to happen. Unfortunately, I would take him. Bruno, 53% of the vote. Szoboszlai, 47% of the vote. We'll close that off. Yeah, I mean, I'd take Bruno over Szoboszlai. Rowan says, why are Fulham still parking the bus? They're probably shell-shocked, to be honest. You know, everything's gone their way really well. They probably need half-time just to have a little bit of a mentality check from the manager, just to say, if I was the manager at half-time, if it was 1-0, I'd say, lads, we'll never have a better chance of beating Liverpool at Anfield. We're 1-0 up. They're down to 10 men. We don't need to sit off. Let's be a little bit more progressive with the ball. They've got one player less. Utilise the ball. Be brave with possession. Move it around. You'll find the space. You get the second goal. We can sit in and counter, but let's get the second goal. But their game plan from the start of the game will have changed massively. And the worrying thing is, in the last couple of minutes, Liverpool have had, for the last 10 minutes, Liverpool have had 80% possession. That would be worrying me as a Fulham manager. I'd be saying, hold on a minute. Let's get hold of the ball here. Have you watched Devil's Advocate with Al Pacino, says VX? I think I watched it a while ago. I probably do need to re-see it. Still 0-0 at the Emirates, approaching half-time. Imagine if Everton got a point there. Long way to go. They won't. They won't. They won't. Arsenal have already had 5 corners, says DJ. Liverpool got a corner. It's a bad one. It's a bad one. Football Away Day says Home Alone, Elf, or Jingle All the Way. You've called it Jiggle, but I think I know what you mean. Which one is your favourite? Home Alone. I'm going to run out of time again anyway to watch all these films. Fulham are getting a lot of stick for parking the bus. Not your average troll says, we've all seen Fulham's defence today. One good play from Liverpool and it's 1-1. They need to be careful. How old was I when Home Alone came out? What year did it come out? Isaac's just missed a sitter, says Joy. God, I'm tired, you know. I've not had a lot of sleep this week. And I was out last night. The Moyes clear out ruined Man United, says 5 Cantonars. Came out in 1990. Kyle says, I can hear all the clanging in the kitchen. It's because they haven't closed the kitchen door. I'm not actually even near the bloody kitchen. The kitchen's on the west wing. Sean says, I like Home Alone 2 better than 1. So I stand... I was going to say Will on the podcast has the same bad opinion. Yep, still no other goals coming in. Let's just have a look around Europe and the Championship. Blackburn are beating Luton. Middlesbrough are beating Millwall. Plymouth are losing to Sheffield United. Rooney could be in trouble. Talking about Will, Birmingham are 2-0 up against Bristol Rovers already. Stansfield has just made it 2 with a penalty. Crawley have just scored against Peterborough. Charlton are 0-0 with Mansfield. In Europe, not really any good games. Atalanta are beating Cagliari with 9 minutes to go. Zaniolo scored. That's a quick turnaround for Atalanta. When did they play? I was supposed to play Tuesday, didn't they? Feels more recent. Be a good win for Atalanta, currently top of Serie A. There we go. Rich David says, big fan Mark, I've watched since 2016, come to Belfast. Hopefully next year, mate. Goldio says, do you ever think about how the Super League is now just forgotten? We let all these people get away with nearly robbing football from us, says Goldio. Yep. Oh, somebody at the door. Could it be a cup of tea? It is. Thank you. Nice. Thanks. Mrs. Goldbridge looking like Santa's little helper. but she's not. She's mine. Lovely cup of tea. That's good. That's good. I don't know what I would have done this week without hot drinks. I don't know whether I told anyone. I've been really not feeling great. You can't beat a hot drink. As much as Liverpool are looking a bit shaky, says Joshua, I reckon they'll nab a cheeky goal or get a penalty and somehow pull this game back. If they do it with 10 men, mate, it's one of those sort of games, you know. I've done it, seen it with United over the years. You know, you're down to 10 men. People are praying for your downfall. You scrap your way back into it. You end up getting a win. And it's a massive believer for your title. I mean, Mo Salah's been very quiet in this game, which I think is a bad thing. I think it could, you know, it could become very relevant at any moment. Why do you wear jeans at home, says Demon? What? It's a good question. Predominantly, what sort of trousers do you wear? Generally, I wear jeans probably. In 2024, I'd say I wear jeans 95% of my time. Whereas in 2020, oh, good chance for Liverpool. They should have scored. Cross came in. Diaz, free header over the bar. Yeah, in 2020, I was wearing tracksuit trousers more. Linen pants, blocked. Who said linen pants? Jack Fury, Linen Pratt, linen pants? You've literally told everyone publicly that you wear linen pants. I know exactly what... They're those ones you don't bother ironing. Bloody hell. Linen pants. Linen shirts are bad enough. Linen pants. Anyway. Cords. I like cords. I used to have cords when I was a kid. United will finish 7th and win the Europa League and the Carabao Cup, says Cayman. If you could be the number one in the world at any profession, what would it be? But can't be footballer or an actor, says VX. Number one in the world at any profession, what would it be? I think if it was like in my late teens when I was single, I probably would have said porn star, but that's just so immature. So I'd probably say number one. I'll tell you what, a little bit outside the box, author. Number one best-selling author, that'd be cool. I'd love to just sit at home and write stories. That'd be cool. Great for the league if Fulham and Arsenal and Chelsea win. We're out of it. City fan, sure you're all ready for a change, to be fair. You're not out of it, Wilbur. You're great for the league if Liverpool lose. We're out of it, bollocks. You want Liverpool to lose because you think you're in it. Any cure for a hangover, says J. Dot. I find go with your stomach. If you want to fry up or a Big Mac meal or a chocolate bar, just do it. Yep, still nil goals at the Emirates. 1-0 to Newcastle at home to Leicester and 1-0 to Ipswich away to Wolves. That will be the end of Gary O'Neill as Wolves manager if they lose. I think even if they draw, that'll be the end of that. Be a great 3 points for Ipswich. Statistically in that game, it's been very equal. In fact, Ipswich have had more shots on goal. It's not looking good, is it? It's not looking good for Gary O'Neill. I think he's going to lose his job. Joe says Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's at the Wolves game. Why? Friends with McKenna? Tea or hot chocolate, says Lucy. I would prefer hot chocolate, but I don't have it very often because it's not that good for you. Ollie wants the Wolves job. That'll be a massive mistake. Massive mistake. I genuinely don't think he's a very good coach. He's a brilliant brilliant legend of the club and a really nice guy, but I don't think he's a good coach. Kevin's just tuned in. 10 men. Was it a red? I think it was a red. Yeah, I mean, ball over the top. Robinson miscontrols it. Harry Wilson runs in behind him. He tries to tackle him. He takes him out. I thought there was a chance that Van Dijk was close, but I don't think he was. So, red card, justifiable. The bigger point is, should Fulham have had a red card? A couple of nasty tackles before that from Diop and from Pereira, who ended up scoring. But no, I think it was a justifiable red card for Robertson. Who do you think will be the new Wolves manager if Gary O'Neill gets sacked, says Iron? I don't know. I think Graham Potter would be a good one, but I don't know whether he'd take it. Can we get your opinions on the Jeremy Kyle show being axed a few years ago, says Goldio. I can honestly give you my opinion that I couldn't give a shit. You know me, I'll always give you an opinion, but I don't actually have an opinion on everything. David Moyes to Wolves. It would be a very, I think it would be a very backward step for Wolves to go and get a manager like David Moyes, considering that under Gary O'Neill the football's not been too bad. I mean, Liverpool have had a lot of possession in the last sort of 20 minutes since Andy Robertson got sent off. Salah's putting in a shift, says Billen. Sergio says, what's your favourite Pirates of the Caribbean movie? The one where I turned the channel over and watched something else. Can't fucking stand it. And I do like Johnny Depp, but I just can't stand Pirates of the Caribbean. It's like, it's a culmination of everything I don't like in film. There's no jeopardy. It's all bloody fantasy shit. And no, I just can't be doing with it for me. John Smith says, Wham's Last Christmas or Shaking Stevens Last Christmas? No, he didn't have Last Christmas. Snow is falling. Merry Christmas, everyone. I think I like Shaking Stevens better. I mean, the Wham one's a classic. But I think Shaking Stevens is more upbeat. New Indiana James games was epic. Roy Hodgson for the Wolves job? Absolutely not. I think we all know Roy Hodgson. Oh, I can't say that. Theo Paphitis would do better than Gary O'Neill, says Goldio. Cascade says, I'm well in to Stop the Cavalry this year. It's good. Tell you what I haven't heard this year. It's a musical one. I've not heard it at all. And he does loads of different instruments. Mike Oldfield. Yeah, I haven't heard it this year. I do like it. I'll tell you what I've heard loads of. Bloody Lily Allen. Lily Allen singing the John Lewis advert. Which one did she do? Keen. Yeah. It's not even a bloody Christmas song. I came across a fallen tree. It's not a Christmas song, and you're not as good as the original. Piss off and start singing about bloody other shit. Half time at the Emirates, 0-0 Arsenal Everton. Half time at St James's Park, 1-0 Newcastle against Leicester. Half time at Molineux, Wolves 0, Ipswich 1. Still playing at Liverpool, Fulham. Sander says, rumours about Noosa to Man United. What price to pay and thoughts? Definitely would like him. Jack, would you take the Burnley job? Mate, I would 100%. I would love to take a job like that. Imagine the interest from, like, if we could post it on That's Football. It'd be great. I'd literally do a stream on a Tuesday night. Who shall I pick at the weekend? We're doing a poll. Who should we sell this week? The Burnley stand, yeah. And I'd do an 8 o'clock show on the Burnley stand, and I'd say, I did training today, and such player was a right lazy shit. Should we sell him or keep him? Either or. Be great. Sideline watch along, yeah. It was 6 minutes added on here. Parker says, if the Championship League approached you to do a joint deal where you broadcast their games live so that they can gain awareness, would you? Yeah, 100%. We did Salzburg. I think it's the way forward. Five Cantonars says, what's Jeremy Kyle got to do with the price of fish? It's a very good point. Ten Hag to Wolves and he gets top 4, says Nath. Bar listening to it myself, I haven't really heard Fairy Tale of New York this year. Oh, I've heard it loads. I listen to, what radio station do we have on in the kitchen? Magic Christmas. They play that a lot. Van der Beek's just scored a banger, says Criddy. Wazza says, after the red card, the referee's been giving all the 50-50s to Liverpool. It's half-time. It's half-time here. Can Liverpool get back into this? With 10 men. It's going to be very interesting in the second half. Did Brits ever actually like Coldplay, says J-Dead? I like Coldplay. Chelsea's going to win the league, says Spoonie. I mean, you look at that league table. Let's just get that back up for a moment. You look at that league table, and I think, really, Chelsea play tomorrow. Obviously, the game in hand makes it like they've played, but obviously Liverpool have got to play Everton. Chelsea play tomorrow. They're 1 point behind if they beat Brentford. If Arsenal can get a win today, they're 1 point, but they're there we go, get another 2 points, wouldn't they? They'd be 3 points behind. So, yeah, the title race would be well and truly on. But this is the unpredictability and competitive nature of the Premier League in its current form. Fulham are the quintessential Premier League side, but it just shows you how fragile things can be. A red card changes everything. Momentum going into a Christmas period. You know, Man United are playing Liverpool at Anfield in about 3 weeks. That's a massively difficult game for us, but you're looking at it now. What if Man United start picking up results and playing better and Liverpool start to falter? Suddenly it becomes a more difficult game for Liverpool than it is potentially for United at the moment. So second half's very important for Liverpool here. Under Arne Slot, they tend to do better in the second half. But as I said about 20 minutes ago, if I'm Marco Silva, I'm not happy with Fulham since they've had the red card for Robertson, because since Liverpool have had the red card, because I think I can get the stats up here, and I think this will be the best way to sort of 61% possession for Liverpool. Like, that's not good. That is not good. When Liverpool have got 10 men. That's the thing about 10 men. That's where you... Look, I'm not saying Fulham... If I'm Marco Silva, I'm not saying to my players at half-time you should be 3-0 up because they're down to 10 men. But I am saying, what the bloody hell is going on here? Why have they got 61% possession? They've got 10 men, we've got 11. We get the ball, we keep the ball. And when they've got the ball, we make it hard for them to pass. I think Fulham need to go more on the front foot here. One mistake, one slip, one penalty, it's 1-1. And Liverpool have had 10 men for most of that first half and will have it for the second half. They've got to go and get the second goal for them. They shouldn't be sitting back, letting Liverpool have the ball. I think that will be a mistake. Can you say hello, Jordan? Says Jordan Garner. I met Diamond Dallas Page in 2016, and he was a really nice guy. Cooked him fish and chips, says Archie. Love how you never talk about these refs screwing Liverpool consistently. Do you think Fulham should have had a red? These refs are corrupt, says S. Does someone want to talk? What does S stand for? Shit talker? What? I don't know what you're talking about, mate. I will talk about any bad decision, and I seem to remember multiple Arsenal decisions and Liverpool decisions over the last 18 months that I've called out. One of them being Curtis Jones' red card at Spurs. I don't think it should have been a red. You're offside that wasn't offside. So I think there's plenty of decisions that I've called out. With regards to this game, I think Andy Robertson's is a red. I mean, I'd love to see it again. Hopefully they will show it again. But I did initially think Van Dijk could get back, but I don't think he could. So I think that's a red card technically. I don't think you can argue with that. On the Diop one, I'd have to see it again, but I think he genuinely tries to get the ball and catches the player. We had one last week, didn't we? What game was it last week where people were saying it should have been a red? Caicedo. If Caicedo last week is not a red, then that's not a red for Diop. At least there's consistency. I actually thought the Pereira one on Gravenberch was worse because Diop's trying to win the ball. Robertson gets there first. He catches his knee. Pereira doesn't get anywhere near the ball and scrapes his studs down the back of Gravenberch's leg. That could have been a nasty injury. So I actually thought Pereira's was more of a red if you want to get into a debate. But I don't think Diop's was a red. Can you remember the name Kenny? No, I don't, Kenny. And I think people are trying to mess around with silly names here, so I won't be reading second names. Are you doing the 5:30 games as Iron? No. Thank you very much for your super chat. Yeah, I'm not reading that, Kenny, either. The Beatles or the Stones, says Gabrielle. I think the Beatles are really overrated. Respect to people who like them, but I prefer the Rolling Stones to the Beatles. I think the Beatles were just very repetitive and overrated. Yeah. Chelsea's going to win the league. We've done that one from Gabrielle. Refs are given money by Fulham, says Pale. I don't... You know what, though? You know what I will say? As good as Liverpool and Arsenal and Chelsea and Man City are in a title race, the reality is with this Premier League is it's very, very competitive. And red cards can happen. Mistakes can happen. And in this league, a red card is going to cause you massive problems because there's some really good teams out there. And I think, you know, we've spoken about Fulham, we've spoken about potential red cards, but Liverpool are going to find it really difficult to get back into this game. And I think it's going to be pivotal to the title race because if they can get back in the game and get something, the amount of belief you get from that, the momentum you get from that is huge. But if they don't, then that can start to make you, you know, mentally weak because you start to think we had a really big points gap. Now it's come down massively. I mean, one of those is because they didn't get to play the Everton game. But, yeah. I agree with Denzel Games, you know. If Liverpool don't win the league, I think City will do it. I can't believe people are writing City off. I really can't. Why are Man City out of this title race, yet they're only 3 points behind Arsenal and 4 points behind Chelsea? That to me is not... If Chelsea can catch Liverpool, Man City can catch Chelsea. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Another Newcastle versus Liverpool game incoming, says Yakov. When's that? Would you listen to Elvis Presley or Michael Jackson for the rest of your life? Definitely Elvis. Again, might be controversial, but I don't rate Michael Jackson. I never liked any of his music. I don't know whether it was like a sixth sense, but I never liked Michael Jackson's music as a kid. I never liked Jim Will Fix It. I liked the theme tune, but as soon as he came on the screen, I was scared. And I didn't really like Philip Schofield and the Gordon the Gopher. Although, to be fair, Gordon the Gopher's never had any, allegations against him. But, yeah. Michael Jackson and Elvis Presley are talented, but I think they're both overrated, says Dickie. There we go. Where are we going with this anyway? Where are we going with this? Bayern are losing to Mainz 2-0. I'll tell you if that's true, because I was looking down at the Bundesliga. Nothing much happening in the French league. Bayern are 2-0 down to Mainz with 18 minutes left. Atalanta beat Cagliari 1-0. That's over for them. They're top of the league. And Girona are 1-1 with Mallorca. Mallorca have had a man sent off, and Donny van de Beek scored in the 7th minute. So, there we go. That's what's happening. Of more interest, I suppose, Arsenal 0-0 with Everton is quite... Well, look. This is. Are you not entertained? Is this not what we want from the Premier League? We've got Arsenal not beating Everton at the Emirates, and we've got Fulham beating Liverpool at Anfield. I think traditionally you'd be thinking easy home wins for both, but well, I did think it would be easy home win for Arsenal, to be fair. Newcastle are 1-0 up against Leicester. They're absolutely dominating them. I can't see that changing. But the Ipswich lead at Wolves is very, very relevant at the moment. It puts Ipswich above Wolves as things stand and puts Wolves firmly into second from bottom. I think that would do for Gary O'Neill. I think he'd be gone. And I think that would be the right thing. Zane says, do you think Chelsea can win the title? There's something about Chelsea just really impressive at the moment that makes me say I wouldn't rule them out. I know Chelsea fans would want to get ruled out, but there's just something about Chelsea at the moment that is really interesting. And I just think they've got that cohesion and... I'm trying to... Look, I've experienced this for years. There's a momentum to Chelsea. There's a didn't play well but still won to Chelsea. There's a we lost but still played well to Chelsea. I mean, I watched them play against Man City on the opening day, and they probably shouldn't have lost that. I watched them play at Anfield, and they played really well, and they lost that. So I think there's just something about Chelsea at the moment that just feels like, even when they were 2-0 down to Spurs at Spurs, I mean, that's an incredible comeback. I think there's just something about them at the moment that's... They just look very strong, and I do wonder if there's if we should be looking at them in more focus. I mean, especially because they've got some really, really interesting games coming up. I was looking at them the other day, weren't we? There we go. Where are you? Chelsea, and they're not really playing in Europe, are they? They're rotating. So they've got Brentford at home tomorrow night. Then they've got Everton away. Then they've got Fulham at home. Then they've got Ipswich away. I mean, I conceivably can't see where they drop points. Whereas I predicted that that Liverpool would drop points today. So, you know, I'm predicting point drops for Liverpool, but I'm not predicting them for Chelsea. So at the moment, I think that they're looking good. But don't write off Arsenal and don't write off City. I think people are too eager to do that, when in reality is that they could easily still do it. I just think there's more points to be dropped for Arsenal. After eights or chocolate orange, says Emmanuel. I think you know what? A few years ago, I would have said after eights. I used to love them, but definitely love chocolate orange now. Ian of Liverpool says Liverpool aren't bottlers. Constantine says R34D's impressive. Do you think Chelsea can win the title, says Zane? Do you think Liverpool can come back from this, says Daniel? I I think they can. I'm not. Look, I've seen Mourinho teams be 1-0 down at Stamford Bridge with 10 men and win 3-1. So of course they can. Dallas says that Brentford have got a great record away at Stamford Bridge. These are the sort of things. These are the sort of games that you need to win. We've got another goal already at St James's Park. They've already kicked off for the second half, and I can tell you that there is a goal for Newcastle, and they're going to be 2-0 up here straight away at the start of the second half. I did say at half-time there wouldn't be a way back for Leicester because Newcastle have had a traditional day at home at St James's Park when they've been very, very good. And they've been very, very good is an understatement because they are 2-0 up right at the start of the second half. Ruud van Nistelrooy is probably heading towards his first defeat as Leicester manager. Always going to be a difficult tie at St James's Park. Always a very difficult place to go. And they are 2-0 up. Jota is on the bench for Liverpool. That's a welcome return. Didn't know he was back fit. But yes, 2-0 to Newcastle. Hustler, thanks very much for your super chat. Goal scorer, Bruno Guimaraes. So much proof in favour of Michael Jackson being innocent. Biopic will reveal all, which releases in 2025, says Abdul. Mate, it doesn't. I mean, I couldn't. Honestly, it's a bit like Jeremy Kyle. I couldn't give a shit, really. I know a lot of people do care about it, but I wasn't a fan of his music, and I'm not really. So it doesn't massively make a difference to me. I know he's a very popular musician, but dead musician. Come on, Arsenal. Let's get these 3 points today, says Nelly. It becomes a very interesting game if Liverpool equalise. What do you do then, Fulham? I want to see Fulham in the second half with more possession. VAR. There's a VAR in the Newcastle game. Might not be a goal. It's under review for an offside. Keep you updated on that. It might not be 2-0 to Newcastle. Bruno Guimaraes. It is a goal. It's been given. Thank you very much. What's everyone having for dinner tonight? I might go out and have a meal tonight. Standing at the door of the pink flamingo. It's 3-0! It's 3-0 at Newcastle! We've only just heard about a goal review. Isak scored. Well, I tell you what, this could be a problem for Leicester. They're 3-0 down. They were 1-0 down 2 minutes ago. They're 3-0 down now. They've conceded 2 in the first couple of minutes of the second half. And they've got to be very, very careful that this doesn't turn into a tonking. Because Newcastle are up for it today, looking to boost their goal difference by the looks of it. Remember, if you are interested in what's going on in the Premier League at the moment, Leicester are definitely in a relegation battle. There is no doubt about that. Currently 5th from bottom and looking to steer themselves away. Tashi says, do you believe in Illuminati conspiracy? Tell me what it is. I'll tell you what I think. Is it all about, like, remember when them Dan Brown books were really popular? I remember reading the Da Vinci Code. I thought it was brilliant. Was it all just a big scam? Very clever guy. I used to really, really like his books, but then it all sort of disappeared, didn't it? He fell off. Whatever happened to Dan Brown? Made his money. Yeah, Angels and Demons was good. They made some films, didn't they, with Tom Hanks? Well, I told you. I told you. I told you. I told you. Can you predict what's happened when I'm pissed off and saying I told you this had happened? There's a goal at Anfield. And this is... Well, Salah's going to get the assist. It's a lovely cross to the back post. Gravenberch is not marked on the back post to head it in. Sorry, Gakpo. Gravenberch. Gakpo. I don't get it. I don't get it how you've got a man unmarked on the back post when you've got an extra man on the pitch. It's just shocking defending from Fulham. I can't defend them, and they can't defend themselves. Absolutely prats. Super prats. You're playing against Liverpool. You've got an extra man. Why are you defending? Why aren't you attacking? I think they're looking for a foul. They won't get a foul for that. They won't get a foul for that. In relation to the lineups, by the way, there has been substitutions. No, there hasn't been any substitutions, actually. I thought there had been substitutions. Gakpo scores 1-1. What do you do now if you're Fulham, eh? Branthwaite's having a mare against Arsenal, says Eduardo, but they're not losing. Still 0-0. That's just... Joy says you're going to eat your words. I'm not going to eat my words, because I already said Fulham have absolutely fucked this up. And I'm angry about it. When did Andy Robertson get sent off? Tell me that. 17 minutes. He got sent off in the 17th minute. So they've had 30 minutes in the first half, and they've got 45 minutes in the second half. And Liverpool are dominating them with 10 men. Get the bloody ball down and pass it. You've got an extra man. It's so simple. Bottle jobs. Possession. Don't let them have the ball. You've got an extra man. Which player, other than a United player, do you think is most overrated in the Premier League, says Bradley? Kyle Walker. Why are people asking for a penalty? You're never getting a bloody penalty for that. Gakpo had a shot. Gakpo shoots and Gomez gets sort of blocked off, but you're not going to get a penalty for that. You won't get a penalty for that. No, I do think Foden's a good player, David, but yeah, that's never a penalty. That. Good question, though, Bradley. No, I don't think it's a penalty because the Fulham player is actually trying to block Gakpo's shot and Gomez runs into him. I don't think that's a penalty. I really don't. I think he's got no idea that Gomez is there. He's trying to block the shot of Gakpo and Gomez runs into him. It's not a penalty for me. We can't be giving penalties for stuff like that. I think if he intended to do that, 100% a penalty, but he's trying to block Gakpo's shot. Anyway, look, if you're Liverpool, I wouldn't be bloody worried. If you get a point out of this, it's a good point. I don't wanna love the Christmas. Only a penalty if Gakpo had put a through ball to Joe, says Danny on the gas. Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, that's a 100% penalty then. If he's dinking it in behind for Joe Gomez, yeah, definitely. Look, I understand Liverpool fans, you know, as much as I don't want you to do anything because I don't like you and you don't like United because that's a genuine rivalry. I'm not going to lie. If this was Man United playing Fulham, I'd be pissed off about Diop. I'd be pissed off about Pereira. I'd be pissed off about that, of course. It's like an accumulation of frustration, isn't it? But you're back in the game. You're back in the game. Fulham are bottling this. Just why Fulham... they're just going to make a change, actually. Let me get my bag of goodies. We're sponsored by Manscaped. I know I've mentioned it, but there's an injury for Fulham here. We're sponsored by Manscaped. You can get 25% off and free worldwide shipping with the code FOOTY. Links in the description. Delivered to your door anywhere in the world for free delivery, plus 25% off. We've got some fantastic products. The beard trimmer, which I use a lot. Obviously, you've got the lawn mower for down there. Trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. You've got the handyman, which is great for a clean shave on the go. Lovely battery on it. And you've got the weed whacker for up your nose. Loads of stuff you can get. Leaders in male grooming, Manscaped. Free worldwide shipping with the code FOOTY and 25% off. Links in the description. Scan the QR code. Make a great present for somebody. Thanks to Manscaped. But I also think as well, I'm very proud of myself when I buy Christmas presents that I always try to buy something that looks good to open. I can't stand the fact that when I was younger and I was getting presents, I'd say, oh, get me this DVD or get me this CD. You can't do that anymore. You can't do that anymore, can you? So, like, one of my kids was like saying to grandparents and stuff, oh, just get me the money. And it was like, oh, we'll transfer it into your bank account. And I was like, oh, the joy of Christmas. There's nothing physical at all. It's just, 30 quid in your bank account that appears. How are you going to open that? She said, well, yeah, I just, I quite like to open stuff at Christmas. Mo says, rather get the cash. Konate needs to come to United, says Aaron Cook. Thank you very much, Aaron. Look, Fulham, get on the bloody ball. Get the ball, pass the ball. Simple as that. We've got another goal coming in for Newcastle. They're 4-0 up. They're motoring here. 4-0 Newcastle. Rude's getting a rude awakening. Who scored for Newcastle? I don't know. Murphy again. He's on a hat-trick. Liverpool are going to win this game. Makes me sick. Makes me absolutely sick. Liverpool are going to win this game. What a bottle job, Fulham. What a bunch of bottlers. I can't speak. How? How do you bottle this? You're 1-0 up already. They go down to 10 men and you sit back like a little mouse and you go, ooh, attackers, attackers. We're happy with a 1-0 even though we've got one man more. Grow a bloody backbone. Be brave. Pass the ball about. Express yourself. Can't believe it. What mentality after 17 minutes when you're 1-0 up and Liverpool get a man sent off goes, let's sit back, let them have the ball, get the crowd excited for them. No. Shut the crowd up. Get them frustrated. Pass the ball about. Why should I do Everton in EAFC 25, says Daniel? Well, it'd be a challenge. Yellow card for Curtis Jones. Joy says, should we... Arsenal going to draw? I still think it's very early days in that game. Yeah, I think it's very early days. 63 minutes, Arsenal, Everton. Rice has come off for Jorginho. Odegaard's gone off as well. Bloody hell. Rice and Odegaard off when you're 0-0. What are we thinking about that, Arsenal fans? Odegaard off. Bloody hell. Is he injured? 4 shots on target. Everton have had none. 73% possession. They're knocking on the door, but Everton won't let them in. Mark, you could play as an older Harry Potter. Only the glasses, mate. Robinson from Fulham would be good. Amarim's Reds. Look, talking about Robinson from Fulham, Robinson to Liverpool would be a good deal. These new glasses actually are different, right? They're varifocals. So, you know, like old people have like the line through the middle. These are modern, so I don't have that shit. But basically, the top half of the lens is for long distance, and then you keep your head still and you read down, and it's got a different lens for reading. Bifocals, that's it. First time I've had them. I don't know whether I don't really notice any difference, really. I keep trying to read something that's like close and not close. Like, imagine if that said F off. What are you having for dinner tonight, Mark? Says Lawrence. Depends what's on the menu. I think I'm going to go out. I'm going to go out for dinner, I think, tonight. I don't know what I'll do if I go out and they've got a Christmas menu again, though, because I'd be so tempted to have turkey again. Oh, for me, how many Christmas dinners is too many? Because I try and have as many as I can in the month of December, because I don't go near it any other time. So I might have another one. Fulham haven't scored, by the way. They nearly did. They nearly did. Harry Wilson, cross came in, just put it wide. Is there going to be a 10 o'clock show tonight? There's never a 10 o'clock show. I tell you what, tonight's show on the United Stand's brilliant. Even if you're not a United fan, you could get involved. It's a real... Been wanting to do it for a while. The comments are going to be fire. It's a really good video tonight. I feel like a bit of a beef bourguignon tonight, you know. That's I wouldn't mind that. Stew. Coq au vin. No, I don't like coq au vin. I don't know whether actually... Do I like coq au vin? I don't know. Chicken chasseur. I used to have that as a kid. Hate it. The sauce is horrible. Coq au vin is chicken with... Oh, I do like coq au vin. Yeah, I do like that. It's chicken chasseur I don't like. There it is. Chicken chasseur. 1 minute. Oof. Yeah, it's... don't have chicken chasseur unless you like it. Arsenal final score prediction, says Brendan. I'm going to go with Arsenal winning this game 1-0. 87th minute. Saka. Bolton fan says, do you have a soft spot for Bolton? No. It's an honest answer. Bayern Munich have lost in the Bundesliga. They're still top. They've not lost. Have they lost? Yes, they have. They lost 2-1. Leroy Sané scored in the 87th minute, but it wasn't enough. Mainz have beaten them 2-1 in the Bundesliga, and Mainz are 6th, so they're not that bad. Fulham are doing a lot better now. Liverpool fans start to get panicky. Fulham have actually started doing what I said they should do, passing the bloody ball. See, this is what in a way, it's changed the game. Because at 1-0, Fulham were like, oh, we're little mice, we're terrified. And then goes to 1-1 and they suddenly go, hello, we've got an extra man, let's start trying to win it, which is what they should have done. So, Adama Traore, get him on. Yeah, get him on. Bayern are 4 points clear at the top from Leverkusen. Eintracht Frankfurt, if they were to win, would be 3 points behind them. I don't know what's going on with Leipzig, mate. Oh, my God. How have they lost 6 games in a row in the Champions League? Because they're not a bad side. Atalanta are 5 points clear at the top of Serie A. I'd love Atalanta to win the title. I'd love it. I like Atalanta. I'd love them to do it, but long way to go. JTD says get Adama on now, and I agree with that because he's just direct. Hello, Mark. What do you reckon the score will be tomorrow in the Chelsea match? I think you'll win, mate. Brentford are terrible away from home. They're great at home. They're terrible away from home. Come on, Fulham. Switch on. You've got a great opportunity here. Tell you what's a good film. Baby Driver. Give that a watch. Not Christmassy. Definitely not a Christmas film. Bum bum ba-dum ba-dum bum bum ba-dum ba-dum bum bum ba-dum ba-dum. Bum ba-dum 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 bum ba-dum 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 bum. Fulham have got a corner. They've definitely been better in the last few minutes. Actually started to realise they've got an extra player. Although Liverpool have got a breakaway here. I think they've messed it up. No, they haven't. Salah. Put it wide. Still 0-0 at the Emirates. 18 minutes to go. 1-1 between Liverpool and Fulham. I tell you what, if you're Chelsea, you're going like this at the moment. I tell you what, if you're Man City, you're going like this at the moment. Salah is dangerous, says Morty. Slow Sports News. What Bond movie would be the best Christmas movie, says Cara? What's the one that starts off A Spy Who Loved Me, Roger Moore? Is that the one that starts off in the with the skiing? Parker says, the vibe is so chill here, United standards become so toxic. You know what, Parker? This is because it's general football. We all support different clubs, so it can't be toxic, but United's fan base has become very toxic. I don't know whether it's like it with other clubs, but it's Skyfall's quite Christmassy as well. It's got snow in it. What's the James Bond film with Daniel Craig in it where... No, it's not even that. It's not that. It's George Clooney. It's not. It's called The American. It starts off in the snow. You've got to play on. There's a Liverpool player down, injured here. Over the bar. Any chance of a poll, Larson or Jokeres, says Rick. Yeah. Yeah, the United fan base is really weird. I mean, I don't know whether people watch the United stand or are aware of it, but in our fan base at the moment, like, there are fans who literally hate players. Like, it's not just they don't think they're good, they hate them. And they have players that they're absolutely, you know, obsessed with. So the Rashford Garnacho thing is just really weird in our fan base. Like, there's people who hate Rashford and love Garnacho, and there's people who hate Garnacho and love Rashford. It's really sad. I hate it. I just can't get my head around that type of football fan, but it is becoming more and more prevalent, which is odd. Player FC, isn't it? The supporting the team almost becomes secondary. On Her Majesty's Secret Service does actually take place at Christmas, says Cameron. Well, when I was growing up, there was always a Bond film on Boxing Day. My name's Goldbridge. Still 20 minutes to go in all of these games. This cannot be Everton's day. This cannot. Wolves! Who let the dogs out? Wolves! I think they've scored. I think they've got a very, very important equaliser, and they have at the Molineux. Wolves have scored. It's 1-1, and that's massive for them. They were 1-0 down to Ipswich. Gary O'Neill needs to save his job. Wolves need to get out of the relegation zone. They've got a goal at home against Ipswich, and it is 1-1. Kuna. What a play. I'd tell you, I'd take Kuna tomorrow. I think he'd be a very good player. Ollie Watkins has been benched again. Says Sue. Duran will be on the bench. Will be starting. Meow says, I get what you mean. I'll never understand hating a player for your own team. Not thinking they are good is one thing, but mental to hate anything associated with your club. Thanks, pal. Kuna's carrying Wolves, says Chaudhry. I mean, look, I presume Liverpool fans, you'd take Kuna. I presume Arsenal fans, you'd take Kuna. I'd take Kuna. Nunez and Kwanzaa are coming on, says Hey Vino. Yeah, going back to Arsenal, though, I've been asked why I don't put Arsenal in a title race. I don't put Arsenal in a title race because I think there will be more Brightons and Bournemouths where they inexplicably drop points. This, I think, would send Arsenal fans into meltdown. Like, I think this sort of result, if they didn't get it, would be a meltdown for Arsenal fans, because it's not justifiable, is it? You know, to not win at home to Everton would be massive. Arsenal going into their third match, having not scored from open play, not at the form needed to win the title this year, says Max. Oh, it's going to be an interesting last 20 minutes here. Do both Liverpool and Everton drop points? Do they both get winners? Do they lose? Fasten your seatbelts. Can I just say as well, we are only 50 subscribers away from 279,000. So please do subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Get involved with That's Football. Daily content on here. You're very welcome no matter who you support. Fantastic community. Great to have you. And we've got some really exciting stuff coming up just after Christmas, actually. As this community goes from strength to strength. Obviously, we did a live watch along from Charlton a few weeks ago. some great stuff going on, and we're growing together as a community. So make sure you subscribe and be part of it. Changing the landscape of football, really. I mean, even the mainstream are just doing a lot of the stuff that we've been doing for years now. So we're changing football, these communities, and thank you for being a part of it. Mark my words, we'll get a Salah goal, says Ezzy. And Rel says, I wouldn't feel bad if Liverpool won. Man United put us in this position of table dilemmas. I personally don't want another City title despite 20 versus 20, says Rel. Thank you very much for that. Joel says, are you doing any watch-alongs tomorrow? Well, I'm not going to do bloody Brighton at 2 o'clock. I don't think so, because Manchester Derby is so big that I don't think I'll have time to do the 7 o'clocks, really. We'll see. Fastest play you've ever seen, says Move Maniac. I don't really know. I think the interesting thing for me, just looking at Arsenal's game, is that the subs that he's made, he's took Rice off, Moreno off, and Odegaard off. He's changed his whole midfield. I just think when you're looking for a goal, why would you take Odegaard off? I need an answer to that. Injured? I mean, I don't know. Might be managing minutes. Yeah, it could be. Corrupt says Odegaard's very overrated. Overrated or not, he's still the creative core of that Arsenal side. I mean, look, if Arsenal draw to Everton, what does taking Odegaard off for the last 20 minutes do? It's just like he might have given you that spark. Leicester's manager bounce over. Well, it was always going to be a hard place to go. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. I said hold on a minute. Fulham have scored. They've scored. It's what's his name? I don't know what his name is. He's scored a goal. Fulham are 2-1 up. Thank God for that. They've actually decided to have a bloody go, you prats. Well, I tell you what, you've made me angry. You've now made me happy, because I don't really understand why Fulham at 1-0 were sitting back and defending. But at 1-1, they decided to have a go. They've been more offensive, and they've made it 2-1. Fulham lead 2-1. The quintessential Premier League side are defining the Premier League title race. What a surprise. But this is what's going to happen. There's so much space out there. Get your runners in. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Marvelous says, I blame Trent for that. Well, what we got? 15 minutes to go. Look, Fulham should have had a lot more chances with 10 men, with an extra player. The fact that you got to be double Robinson assists. What a player, John. You've got to be brave. You've got to be brave. You've got to be cool. You've got to be calm. You've got to stay together. As Desiree once sang, this is what you've got to do. And I think Fulham didn't get the memo at 1-0 when they went down to 10 men. You've got to be brave. You've got to have a go. Trent's getting absolute slated here. Jim says, get Robinson to United straight away. Well, Jota's coming on now. Harvey Elliott's coming on now. This is a very interesting title race at the moment. 84 minutes at Arsenal. 0-0. That's terrible. Apparently, Odegaard was playing really battle. Odegaard was playing really bad. That's why he got taken off. He was well off the mark. Yeah, loads of Arsenal fans are saying he wasn't playing very well. So that's why they did it. Okay, 10 minutes to go. I've lost my live chat, that's why I've gone a bit quiet. Here we go. Make sure you subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner, very close to 278. Look, even if Liverpool get a late equaliser, it's still 2 points dropped in the title race. You can't argue with it. I'm more intrigued with what's going on at Arsenal now. I don't want to be rude, but that is really interesting. What's going on there? Because they're running out of time. Fulham fifth in the league, Mark. Yes, let me show you the Premier League table. There it is. Fulham would be into 5th place. I love this league at the moment, though. I absolutely love this league. Look at it. It's incredible. Look at that. Forest are playing Villa at 5:30. Bournemouth play... Who are Bournemouth? Bournemouth play Monday night, aren't they? It's incredible. Incredible. Best Premier League season we've had in years, I think. Edwin says, where's United, Mark? I don't know. It's a bit of a game you can play. It's a bit like hide and seek. If you can find Man United, you get a prize. Bournemouth are playing West Ham. Yeah. Yeah. Anthony Robinson's man of the match, says Flores official. We're into the 87th minute in the Arsenal game. This has got Arsenal bottle it match Goldbridge match reaction video. It's not Arsenal in crisis because they're not losing, but Arsenal bottle it definitely is a title I think we're looking at here. Yeah, I mean, come on, we've got to have some Arsenal fans in here. I mean, Liverpool, all right, Fulham are a good side and they've been down to 10 men for most of the game, but Arsenal, come on. At home to Everton. Man United beat Everton. We stuffed Everton 4-0 a couple of weeks ago. We stuffed Everton 4 weeks ago. This is not... There's no context to this. There's no excuse for this. At the Emirates, 0-0 against Everton, when you're meant to be chasing down the title, this is a problem. This is a bigger problem than Liverpool losing to Fulham, because Liverpool will be furious and pissed off, but they can justify it because of a red card. How do Arsenal justify this? And this is why I put Arsenal out of a title race weeks ago. Because even if they get a late goal here, which I would expect, they're going to do this. They're going to keep doing this. They're going to keep dropping points, and you can't afford to drop points. You can't. Newcastle 4-0 Leicester. Everton had a week off, says Peter. Oh God, we're not doing that, are we? Are you serious? So fucking what? You haven't put the ball in the back of the net with 76% possession, mate. This is a brilliant point for Everton. The thing about Everton is, I said it yesterday in my preview, they can't score. I saw it against United. They played well against us for 20 minutes, but they couldn't score. So, from Arsenal's point of view, all you needed to do was put the ball in the back of the net. Ladios says, Chelsea are the dark horse of the season. Stop nicking my words. I said that on the podcast 3 weeks ago. Can I also say as well, what did I say in January? What did I say in January on the podcast? I said my team for 2024, the team that I think will have the best calendar year, I said Chelsea. I said I think Chelsea this year are going to have a massive glow up. And, well, look, conceivably could be top at New Year. Saka is not world class, says Keel. I think he is. Blues enthusiast is a Chelsea fan, says we're not in a title race. Mate, if you're 1 point off the title tomorrow, you're in a title race whether you want to be in it or not. I have been to Bristol before, yeah. 17,000 tuning in. Absolute legends. Make sure you subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. There's a VAR penalty review at Arsenal. Have they given it? Liverpool are bloody equalised. Fucking hell. Oh, come on. What's going on? What is going on with Fulham? Why? Why have they done this? Is it Jota? Oh, keeper's gone down too early as well. Guessing again. It's not fucking guess who. It's football, mate. 2-2. 5 minutes to go. Fulham. Did they get the penalty at Arsenal? No. What? I just saw a clip of that. It looked like a penalty. I think that was a penalty to Arsenal. I don't think they've given it. Have they given it? They're not giving it. Oh, fucking hell. Could be late drama. 3 games are a draw at the moment. Wolves, Ipswich 1-1. Liverpool 2-2. Arsenal 0-0. It's not a penalty. I think it should have been a penalty for Arsenal. Legit. Legit, mate. I just saw it on Twitter. X. I'd have to see it more. I'd have to see it more, but I think it was. Arteta spluttering on a giant bag of gravel, says I'm all in. Overmars was the fastest I've seen, says Bottle Fed Red. Thanks for all your super chats today, by the way. We're 5 subscribers away from 279,000. Thanks everyone for tuning in and joining the community. I can't believe Fulham. Fulham should be embarrassed. Hugh Grant FC bottling it. Arsenal are going to bottle this. This is going to finish in a draw. Shane, welcome to the members. Sorry, thank you very much for your super chat, Shane. 30 seconds to go at Arsenal. I think it's over for Arsenal. Liverpool haven't scored, by the way. Well, they have. It's 2-2, but they haven't scored the third goal. Oh, this is not good for Arsenal. Apparently, Pickford's got the ball as we go into the 94th minute, and there's only 4 minutes to be added on. But this is why I put Arsenal out of the title race weeks ago. You can't drop these sort of points. Dicky says Arsenal's not out of the title race. Mate, you've just drawn at home to Everton, you prat. You've just drawn at home to Everton. What do you mean you're not in you think you're in a bloody title race? Born stupid. What are you talking about? Of course you're out of a bloody title race. Just drawn at home to bloody Everton. Prat. What do you think's going to happen? What do you think everyone else is going to do? They have drawn. You can't. I mean, Arsenal, I'm going to do a video, Arsenal bottle it. You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't draw at home to Everton when you've already dropped silly points already to Bournemouth and everybody else. You can't do it. Wolves have just lost. No, they haven't. They have! Oh, I told you there was going to be late drama. Ipswich have just sacked Gary O'Neill. Literally. McKenna's just gone and given him his P45. That is it. It's over. You're sacked. No one wants to get sacked for Christmas, but Ipswich have won it at Molineux at the very end of this game. It's 2-1. 90 plus 4. Ipswich 2, Wolves 1. He's gone. He's absolutely gone. Uh, 9 minutes added on in the Liverpool game, by the way. I'm desperate for a piss. No, you wouldn't keep Gary O'Neill now. You wouldn't keep him now. I mean, he's just lost to West Ham. He's just lost at home to Ipswich. Like, there becomes a point where you have to sack a manager. Taylor has scored. Fulham have an injury. This game could go on till 9 o'clock tonight. Big words coming from Skull Down FC. Can't wait for you to get battered, says Trans Girl, Leah. Mate, that's football. It's not the United stand. And if you think you can wind me up about Man United, we've been shit for 10 years. I'm experienced. But you've bottled the league. Man City are nowhere. It's meant to be Arsenal's league and you bottled it. I'm angry for you. I want Arsenal to win the league instead of Liverpool. I'm angry. I'm more angry as a non-Arsenal fan than you are as an Arsenal fan that you've bottled the league. You're deluded. You're bloody deluded. You think you're still in a bloody title when you're drawing it home to Everton. Of course you could still technically win the league, but you won't because you're going to keep doing what you did today. I said this a month ago. You'll keep doing what you did today. You'll keep dropping stupid points. You beat Man United at home, then you draw to fucking Everton at home. Madness. Liverpool just nearly scored. I was about to throw my chair on the floor. Corner. Ipswich have beaten Wolves 2-1. You think that's it for Gary O'Neill. Leicester have lost 4-0 at Newcastle. Arsenal have drawn 0-0 against Everton. And now we still have got 5 minutes here at Anfield. I'll tell you what, I'm not happy. I'm not happy. I'm not happy with Fulham. Mark, allow me to put on a tinfoil hat. If calls like 2 potential red cards, no VAR that I noticed keep happening, I'd suspect the refs have it in for Liverpool because their buddy Coot got done, says Danny on the gas. It's all kicking off at Wolves again. Fulham are the quintessential Premier League team. I don't understand. Look, this is football. I know football can be funny, but I don't really understand how they've conspired to not win. I mean, this is a... Look, Liverpool, you'd be happy with a point. In the situation, to play with 10 men for so long, you'd be happy with the point. But I just think Fulham have been a bit naive here. United banter era better than Arsenal's golden, says Red Army. Of course, Fulham could do it on the break. That sounds ridiculous that they're breaking with an extra player. Minty says Arsenal are still in a title race. You keep telling yourself that, mate. You don't understand what I'm saying. It's above your IQ level. You drop stupid points. You drop stupid points. You're 6 points behind Liverpool and they've got a game in hand and you can't win every game. How are you going to close a gap when you keep dropping stupid points? Everton at home should be easy. Easy. Can't do it. I'm just panicking here that we're going to get this. I just want this Fulham game over. I'm not giving him any credit, but to be fair, to be 1-0 down with 10 men, then 2-1 down with 10 men, and come back twice. I don't think Liverpool will take that as a bad result. I know you want to beat Fulham at home, but in the circumstances, I don't think you take that as a bad result. About 2 minutes left. Yeah, I mean, Andy Robertson got sent off in the 17th minute. Fulham were 1-0 up at the time. If he'd been sent off in the 17th minute and it's 0-0, you've still got a tough game. When you're 1-0 down and you get a man sent off, it's, you know, it's a challenge, isn't it? But I think Fulham could have been braver. They only really reacted at 1-1, and I just think they could have been braver. I think when you're 1-0 up, that was, if I was looking back at this, when you're 1-0 up and they go down to 10 men, get the second goal. Go and get the second goal, and they didn't try to do it. They only did it when it went to 1-1. And I think they could have been more ambitious. Looks like it's going to finish 2-2 now, a minute to go. Arteta. Thanks to Manscaped, by the way. Get your 25% off and free worldwide shipping delivered to your door with the code FOOTY. Not really any chances coming in. My Algo says, if Liverpool draw, Chelsea wins the league, says Parker. Lots of people talking about Anthony Robinson from Fulham. Yeah, I mean, look, be a very good. I think he'd be a good player for Liverpool. I think he'd be a good player for Arsenal. I think, you know, natural left-footed player. Owen says, I don't think Liverpool should be mad about a draw. Chelsea have Robert, Sanchez, and Arteta has bottled game after game with his subs. Are you still sick, Mark? No, I feel a lot better now. I think it's just like, you know, I'm desperate for a piss. That's what I am. Manchester Derby tomorrow. United stand. Full time, 2-2. Well, I think Fulham had a missed opportunity there, but they probably... I did say Liverpool would drop points today. I didn't say Arsenal would drop points. I did say there'd be drop points in the title race. It could be perfect for Chelsea if Man City drop points tomorrow and they win. Let's wait and see what happens. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Absolute legends. Really enjoyed that today. Hope you did as well. And I will speak to you on the next.